1. Invasive brown trout detected in Flathead River. What you need to know. 2. Brown trout discovered in Flathead River. What you need to know. 3. Brown trout invasion in Flathead River. What anglers need to know. 4. FWP's urgent response to brown trout invasion in Flathead River. 1. Invasive brown trout detected in Flathead River. What you need to know. The discovery of non-native brown trout in the Flathead River raises significant concerns for local ecosystems. This summer, wildlife officials in Montana confirmed the presence of these invasive fish upstream of the Presentine Fishing Access Site, located near Evergreen. In response to this alarming finding, Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks (FWP) is actively encouraging anglers to report any additional brown trout they catch in the area. This initiative is crucial for monitoring the situation and understanding the extent of the brown trout population in the Flathead River and its tributaries. To aid in this effort, FWP is employing cutting-edge environmental DNA (EDNA) sampling technology. This innovative method allows them to detect the presence of brown trout more effectively, helping to pinpoint specific locations where these fish may be found. Such information is vital for informing future management strategies aimed at protecting the local ecosystem. Anglers who encounter a brown trout in the Flathead River or its tributaries are strongly advised to humanely kill the fish and report their catch to the FWP Region 1 office at 406-752-5501. This action is not just a recommendation. It is a critical step in safeguarding the native fish populations that could be threatened by the invasive brown trout. According to a recent news release, the introduction of brown trout poses a serious risk to native species, particularly the West Slope cutthroat trout, which is a key species in the region. Mike Hensler, the FWP Regional Fisheries Manager, emphasized the importance of protecting these native trout populations, stating, "Brown trout pose a threat to native species in the Flathead drainage, and we need the public's help to manage this invasive species." It is also important to note that transporting live fish between different water bodies is illegal. The introduction of non-native fish and other invasive species can lead to severe ecological, recreational, and economic consequences. Brown trout can be recognized by their distinctive golden brown to yellow-brown coloration, often adorned with dark spots that are typically surrounded by lighter halos. In some cases, they may also feature red or orange spots, making them identifiable to anglers and conservationists alike. But here's where it gets controversial. How do we balance the interests of anglers with the need to protect native species? As we navigate these complex issues, we invite you to share your thoughts. Do you believe that stricter regulations are necessary to manage invasive species? Or do you think current measures are sufficient? Join the conversation in the comments. 2. Brown trout discovered in Flathead River. What you need to know. The discovery of non-native brown trout in the Flathead River system has raised significant concerns among state officials. In early June, an angler caught a single brown trout upstream of the Presentine Fishing Access Site, located near Evergreen. This event marks the first documented sighting of this species in the Flathead River drainage in over 20 years. The identification of the fish was confirmed by Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks, based on a photograph provided by a local fishing guide. While brown trout are already present in various water bodies across Montana and are even intentionally stocked in certain lakes and rivers for sport fishing, their introduction into the Flathead River could have serious ecological consequences. According to Kenny Breedinger, a fisheries biologist with the State Wildlife Agency, brown trout are known to outcompete native fish species for essential resources such as food, which poses a threat to vulnerable local species like the West Slope cutthroat trout and the bull trout. Breedinger emphasized if brown trout established themselves here, they would be classified as invasive species. He also suggested that it is very likely this particular brown trout was introduced illegally into the Flathead River. In response to this situation, state officials are actively investigating the potential spread of brown trout throughout other areas of the Flathead River system. They are employing a technique known as environmental DNA sampling to assess the situation. Researchers have been collecting water samples from numerous locations along the Flathead River, stretching from Kalispell to Columbia Falls, to search for genetic traces of brown trout. The findings from these analyses will provide biologists with valuable insights into how far the brown trout may have dispersed, according to Breedinger. Anglers are encouraged to contribute to this research by reporting any brown trout they catch in the Flathead River or its tributaries to local wildlife authorities. The samples collected will be analyzed to trace the origins of the introduced brown trout. Brown trout can be easily recognized by their distinctive golden brown or yellow-brown coloration. Adult brown trout typically feature dark spots that are surrounded by lighter halos, with the spots varying in color, including black, red, or orange. What do you think about the introduction of non-native species like brown trout into local ecosystems? Do you believe the benefits of sport fishing outweigh the potential risks to native fish populations? Share your thoughts in the comments. 3. Brown trout invasion in Flathead River. What anglers need to know. Urgent alert. Non-native brown trout found in Flathead River. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks, FWP, has made a significant discovery. A non-native species of brown trout has been identified in the Flathead River, specifically located upstream from the Presentine Fishing Access Site near Evergreen. This finding raises concerns for local ecosystems and the native fish populations that inhabit these waters. What does this mean for anglers? Anglers are strongly encouraged to report any brown trout they catch in this area. The FWP is actively employing cutting-edge environmental DNA, EDNA, sampling techniques to assess the extent of brown trout presence in the Flathead River and its tributaries. This innovative approach will help pinpoint locations where these invasive fish may be thriving, which is crucial for planning effective management strategies. Immediate action required. If you happen to catch a brown trout while fishing in the Flathead River or its tributaries, it is imperative that you humanely kill the fish and report your catch to the FWP Region 1 office at 406-752-5501. When reporting, please provide details such as the location and date of your catch, as this information is vital for ongoing monitoring efforts. Why should we care? The introduction of brown trout poses a serious threat to native species like the bull trout and West Slope cutthroat trout. These invasive fish can outcompete native trout for food and habitat, and they also prey on juvenile fish, further endangering local populations. Mike Hensler, the regional fisheries manager at FWP, emphasizes the importance of protecting our native trout populations. Brown trout pose a threat to native species in the Flathead drainage, and we need the public's help to manage this invasive species. Join the conversation. What are your thoughts on the impact of invasive species like the brown trout on local ecosystems? Do you believe enough is being done to protect our native fish? Share your opinions in the comments below. Let's discuss how we can work together to preserve the natural beauty and biodiversity of our waters. 4. FWP's urgent response to brown trout invasion in Flathead River. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks takes action against invasive brown trout in Flathead River. On July 14, 2025, a significant concern has emerged for anglers and conservationists alike. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks FWP has officially reported the presence of a non-native brown trout in the Flathead River, specifically upstream from the Presentine Fishing Access Site located near Evergreen. This alarming discovery has prompted FWP to call upon local anglers to report any additional brown trout they may catch in the area. To thoroughly understand the scope of this issue, FWP is utilizing cutting-edge environmental DNA, EDNA, sampling technology. This innovative method will help detect any further instances of brown trout in the Flathead River and its tributaries, allowing for targeted management strategies in the future. Anglers are strongly encouraged to take immediate action if they catch a brown trout in the Flathead River or its tributaries. FWP requests that these fish be killed right away and that the catch be reported to the FWP Region 1 office at 406-752-5501. Providing details such as the location and date of the catch will greatly assist in ongoing monitoring efforts. The introduction of brown trout poses a serious threat to native trout species, including the bull trout and West Slope cutthroat trout. These invasive fish can outcompete native species for essential resources and prey on juvenile fish, leading to a decline in native populations. Our priority is to safeguard our native trout populations, stated Mike Hensler, the regional fisheries manager at FWP. Brown trout represent a significant threat to the native species in the Flathead drainage, and we need the community's support to effectively manage this invasive species. It's crucial to note that transporting live fish between different water bodies is illegal. The unauthorized introduction of non-native fish and other invasive species can wreak havoc on local ecosystems, affecting recreational activities and the economy. These invasive species disrupt aquatic environments by altering food chains, diminishing biodiversity, and endangering native species that are vital to Montana's fishing heritage. Brown trout can be recognized by their distinctive golden brown to yellow-brown coloration, often adorned with dark spots that are typically encircled by lighter halos. In some cases, they may also display red or orange spots. What are your thoughts on the management of invasive species like the brown trout? Do you believe that stricter regulations are necessary to protect our native fish populations? Share your opinions in the comments below. ****